Yes, this is Point Black coming in hard. All the neighbors are assembled, and everybody is ready to see Point Black come on live and do what he got to do to let the world know we have a lot of work to do. The work is never ending. The battle is never over until all is well. So we must say, this is PBNN, Point Black, National News, the late edition. Coming with the facts, the crack of them backs. Coming with the flow, straight from the barrio. Coming with the heat from the motherfucking street. You know how we do. That's how we get down. You know what I'm saying? Because we have to have our own independent news media as black people and as people in general. You know what I'm saying? But especially black people, based on the different things that are going on in these times. You know what I'm saying? Where we have a a channel where we can express ourselves with YouTube and Susan Wojcicki and them is good. But the censorship is full of shit because it differs a difference of opinion in one way, allow you to put an opinion in another way, and I guess they want you to put it in a way of most this, but YouTube has an understanding because if you look at certain things that are up there, not picking on anybody else's joint, uh, the good information is sometimes there, but there's a whole lot of other garbage that should not be there. Because some of the things are not even based on facts, it's just based on straight corruption and the violence and the wickedness in the world that we see today. So, in that being said, you know, they censored me for 1 week for using music that I grew up on, you know what I'm saying, such as Marley, Wilson Pickett, and a whole lot of different artists. You know what I'm saying? And they said I can't use it on my podcast because of copyright. But how can I be doing that when I grew up with that music and those people? So if I play it on my podcast, it's to glorify them and their music as a DJ would, like I said before. So if this is what they do, then we must now create our own channel that we can be able to express ourselves. Of course, it should be monitored just like any other, but there should be more freedom, more freedom. And especially if they sold the copyrights to the music to YouTube, then one of the things that YouTube did not do, and would probably say they did because they have a policy, but they should mention their policy up front based on their music or anything to do with that up front when they know that you're doing lives and podcasts. They should send you a message and the music that you can use. And that's a shame because I never, Bob Marley and Peter Tosh and all these great artists, and including Wilson Pickett, and including a lot of other artists that were from the South and the West Indies, you know what I'm saying, veered and were fighting against the very same thing that, is going on today. And it's a shame to see that music be censored in a way that you would present it to an individual bringing, you views and comments, you know what I'm saying, on a podcast, as if, I have to ask them to use it. And I see a lot of other videos where people play other people's music and they don't do that to them necessarily. But we know where it's coming from and why. So we'll leave it there on that subject. But it would be nice if we can have an offset to YouTube that allows more freedom, but good regulations. Because you just can't go on there just because we have more freedom and do and see all kinds of crazy stuff and think that it's just going to pass. That's not what it's here for. It's here for us to keep up on everything that's going on in the world for the informational channel that be able to have criticism and views and comments of a difference of opinion. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Now, we're looking at the vaccine program again, and we see where they're saying there's a lot of skepticism and they're doing 50-50 and 52 here type percentage deal. But skepticism towards any vaccine, especially people of color, you know what I mean, and people of color, so should the white people of America. You know what I mean? Be having some form of skepticism towards any type of vaccine, because we cannot sue necessarily when this happens and a person gets hurt because they signed a deal with it. The vaccine companies cannot be sued. Now, that's cool and fine and dandy, but at the same time, people should be skepticism about a lot of things, not just a vaccine. But that's one of the things that's going on right now. You know what I'm saying? Because the vaccine is basing it as all. You know what I'm saying? Which should not be. Old people don't need a vaccine. They're in good, healthy condition. And this is how you know how you keep a track on the virus. We must be able to have some form of tracking delight amongst the general population. You know what I'm saying? It should not be just only one opinion. You know what I'm saying? So basing it on all it should not be, because the virus should not hold ground this long. Now I hear words of mention of the virus being coming, maybe Anthony, excuse me, I'm going to say his name right. I'm going to say Anthony Fauci. You know what I'm saying? He's saying that it could become an endemic. You know what I'm saying? Which means it'll turn into what we call uh, uh, endemic is what you call since they said it's a cold and a flu, and it acts like a cold and a flu, and it's that type of groove in a sense, you know what I'm saying? And they're prolonging it so long to the point where there's not making much sense of this thing based on the fact that you have already vaccinated over, that many millions of people. Somehow, some way, this virus, if it's in the format which you say it is, because it's not cannot be spreading that fast to the point where you done vaccinate all these people and constantly pushing even more vaccines to see that you have not reached herd immunity by now, because you said 78 to 90 or 95 to 75, you already done broke that barrier. So why is the vaccine program still going on? And second of all, where's our herd immunity? And also the diminishing of the virus itself in its form, if it's a natural group based on jumping from animal to human. Because if it jump from animal to human, it's still basically a natural vibe in itself. Not saying that it should be, but genetics is something that can happen. So we have to look at that. You know what I mean? There should be some uh, uh, diminishing of the virus, you know what I'm saying, by now. Now, they saying they have new strands and all these different things, but that had come from the vaccine. It wasn't there before. That's the evidence. So we have to understand that. Now, you know what I'm saying? We look at the whole situation of the vaccine. Now, first of all, when we look at the vaccine, we have to first look at the fact, if it was a floating virus, we could understand that. Then more people would have gotten sick at a more alarming rate, and the numbers would be more higher. You know what I'm saying? many more than the numbers could count if it was just floating in the air in itself. You know what I'm saying? That it will show more of. Anybody should understand that. Now, any numbers would be higher, way higher, as a matter of fact. But to say asystematic is wrong info because if it was asystematic and normal healthy people, like you say, are asystematic, then way more people would get sick. The numbers would be out of control. And that's point facts. So you can't use asystematic and say good healthy people is asystematic and saying that good healthy people who have no symptoms, you know what I mean, is wrong. Let's back that up. How is that possible? Then that means every single healthy person in the United States and across the world would be the one spreading the virus and catching the virus and would have been dead. We all would have been dead, as a matter of fact. If that's the case, and good healthy people don't know they're asymptomatic, spreading it around and surviving COVID-19 just like that. So something about that statement needs to go away. It even if you pull in a trick with it and you're saying stuff like that, that will only go for people who are not uh, a little bit more consciously, researchly, or have some type of experience in the medical field. So we're talking about a normal general population of people who just go about their daily business and so on and so on. This will show that you could run that on them. But people that know it doesn't make medical sense. And it's not an argument, it's an opinion. It's not to change anything, it's an opinion. Let's keep it there. You know what I mean? Because YouTube have a way of taking your contents and words out of things and then saying that what I'm saying is not something that I should be saying, that I don't study. And the study comes from you guys. You know what I mean? So I'm only saying and analyzing what they're saying. So I don't know what people be thinking. Maybe you just want to be racist. I hate the fact that I'm saying it. And that's unfair practice as well. So so people in good health have no symptoms. It's wrong to me because if this was true, again, the numbers would be way higher than what they show. And that's common sense. You know what I'm saying? How many people you know truly, how many people you know what I'm saying, truly know or see people, friends, family, just walking around dropping dead because they're asymptomatic, good, healthy people, and they're spreading the virus throughout the world, asymptomatic, good, healthy people. You know, do you know any of these people where you're seeing wherever you go? Is the question. Which everybody's wearing a mask. So I don't see that one too. And then you want a double mask, which is not good for the brain. But then we see that too, you know. But do we see them just dropping down sick and dead? If everybody's asymptomatic and they're spreading it, good healthy people are asymptomatic on the TV. I bet you wish you never put that one up there. You know what I mean? Because it don't make sense. You know what I mean? Just dropping down dead because they're asymptomatic. You know what I'm saying? You know, asymptomatic, to me, was the case that would mean everyone is sick in the world. Every single person, no matter whether you in good healthy condition or whatever, good healthy condition is spreading it. To me, that's a lie. And I wouldn't fall for that one at all because it doesn't make good sense. And we see a lot of things happening. It's the same thing switching subjects. It's the same thing when you look at Trump. You know what I'm saying? Trump to me is the most vilified president we ever had. He's one of the most vilified presidents that's going to go down in history because to me, Trump stood strong in their way and they didn't like that. You know what I'm saying? Some people say, what's the word they would use? What's the four squares? Trump stood four squares in their way. So, that's how we go, And why is former President Obama, to me, pushing a nationwide coronavirus surveillance system? It doesn't make much sense to me because the social left, to me, seems like Klan and neo-Nazi movement in the way they're moving. You know what I mean? Whether they're socialist or communist, they're still moving in that direction of that whole vibe. And I really don't understand why. And they need to cut that out. The Democrats and black activists, lefts, have sold out. You know what I'm saying? Because they have leaned towards the left, to do Biden's bidding like fools. So a lot of these civil rights leaders that we see have sold out and have been leaning fiercely to the left to convince black people into keep on voting Democrat. Even going back to the promise that Lyndon B. Johnson made in that vibe. You know what I'm saying? That he's going to make black people vote Democrat for the next 100 years. And using these lefties who are leaning towards the left, for many years, since even going back to Martin Luther King and all of them, and doing their bidding, and convincing these young black people to keep on voting, is one wicked thing to do. Because they should have more of a choice and they should understand who their ancestors' creation is, such as the Republican Party. You know what I'm saying? How the Republicans are getting, and this goes out to some Republicans, not all, how some Republicans are getting a free pass, to this plan of evil to me, just because they crossed over, you know what I'm saying, or have some affiliation in your sabotage of my ancestors' name. Any Republican that's passing off this bull are not Republicans. They may be on the Republican side disguising themselves, but they're really imposters if you ask me. You know what I mean? And that's a fact and point blank. Because you should sound more like Lee Zeldin when it comes to Long Island and what is going on out here for us. Matter of fact, Lee Zeldin, I'm beginning to like Lee Zeldin more and more, but I keep my eye on everybody. I don't just fall for everything. But Lee Zeldin should have been the governor. See you, Como. Gotta go, bub. You know what I'm saying? Lee Zeldin should get a crack at that. You know what I mean? As long as he don't switch sides to the pressure of politics based on, rule and gain and rule, whatever. You know what I'm saying? This is not a Republican at all, or any kind of what my people and ancestors have done, that we're trying to do and created. You know what I'm saying? And that's a fact. You know what I mean? To me, they're just really just most of these Republicans today. I'm afraid to say it, and I'm not saying all. You know what I'm saying? Seem to want to just to they really are saboteurs. You know what I'm saying? They're saboteurs. You know, they're saboteurs. Straight up. They come to sabotage shit. And basically that's what it is. It's sabotage for rule, you know what I'm saying? And the money. You get riches, you know, working for the beast to control the world. But you on the Republican side, which don't make much sense and don't look good on your part, especially Mrs. Cortez over there. You know what I mean? We see a few patients. Now we're skipping subject. Now we see a few patients, you know what I'm saying, with severe COVID-19 from the COVID-19 cohort or whatever they call that, cohort, you know what I mean? Had several modules of the postatory pole of the globe, you know what I mean? Study have found that there's something going on with the COVID-19, I guess, vaccines that are affecting the globe. Now, I don't know if it's a vaccine or whatever it is, because they have totally mixed up this whole situation based on, you know what I'm saying, a direction of virus and where it's coming from. And that's one, I've never seen a study done that way, to so much confusion and trickery. Now Biden standing up in front of a big old machine on TV showing us how this great old machine looked like something out of Germany, but that's their problem. You know what I mean? But the pole of the study of the globe of the back of the eye of the postory pole have been found when they were doing a study. This study was done at the foundation of Adolphe de Rothschild Hospital in Paris. And they found out that there's something affecting that. You know what I mean? Due to the fact of the sort of damage that could, you know, go, they're saying at the Rothschild Hospital over there in Paris, the Adolphe de Rothschild Hospital, that it could easily go unnoticed, inflaming and triggering by the virus. You know what I'm saying? But most of these candidates have been tested and vaccinated. So, you know, I don't know how they're studying the test necessarily, but that's on them. You know what I'm saying? This is Point Black, PBNN, Point Black National News, the late edition report. You know what I'm saying? But notice the test, the type of test that they do, and notice if you look at the color light they're using, it's a blue light. They're using blue light. They can see certain things under that blue light more better. You know what I'm saying? You know, here's one, and I see we have one arrest over freedom. You know what I'm saying? Skipping subjects off of that. Over there in Spain, they locked up some brother over there. I guess he must be some kind of political singer, basing his music on politicalism. Must have gotten a little radical with the music and said some things the government don't like, and they locked him up, and now they're having a big protest behind his freedom. I forgot his name, but he's supposed to be like a reggaeton rapper or something like that. You know what I mean? They keep saying, you know what I'm saying? Now we jumping back off of that. Just had to say that it's going over. I forgot what country that is, but it's going on over there. You know what I mean? You know. Now they keep saying that the vaccines can protect you from what is, to me, what the vaccine is protecting you from is a good question. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of the stuff that's erupting is due to that. You know what I mean? Is the question. And for how long? Now we see the feds jumping subject again. Now we see the feds, because they don't like you to dwell on things too long. Now we see the feds is on Como. They're on Como, but it's okay. There's a little bit of hope I see in that. Now I see that Como is threatening to clean up the mess you know. But my question is, who is Como in a sense? The Godfather? You know what I'm saying? Is he the Godfather of the world or something? Is he mixed up with I mean, who is he? The Godfather? You know what I'm saying? Now I see that Dr. Akina, or whatever her name is, Kakita or whatever, back up there to me with the bull. I wonder did she, Mrs. Dr. Akita, whatever her name is, I wonder did she get the vaccine herself, the double dose, while she up there smiling and grinning. You know what I mean? All these foreigners in our medical system. To me, they're lying. You know what I mean? They're straight up lying over the whole shit, up there on News 12. Over the suppressing information to me, because I don't never hear Channel 12 mention anything about any side effects. To me, they're hiding info and ramping up vaccines. And they need to cut that out. Because Channel 12 should be better, be more informing the local people, because you want to dominate the local channel. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we need to start a new one aside from yours that can bring more breaking news and more truth. You know what I mean? Because Channel 12 News is not really doing that and seem to have lost that ground based on that. You know what I mean? So, we're going to go ahead now. See on Channel 12 News, another switching news. We see that Trump is feeling sorry for Como. You know what I'm saying? I wonder why. But Como's got to go, Trumpy Bear. Sad to tell you, but it's got to go down on the Trumpy Lumpy. You got to go. You know what I'm saying? We do not trust him. And that's it, Trump. Ain't no going around that. He's not good for this state at all. You know what I mean? At all. Now we see we must do something about what we see with the CDC and the FDA after what went on. I'm going to raise my voice and pause. Now saying, give me a little pause, and it goes a little bit loud, not going on foolishness. You know what I mean? Now we must do something about the CDC and the FDA. That's another department of our medical field that we're going to have to really take a hard, long look at, and their functions and the different things that have went on with them that did not look right at all and should not have happened. Point facts, point blank. So we've got to take another look at the FDA and the CDC after what went on with the COVID-19. You know what I'm saying? Threatening to fire the FDA dude over there if he did not pass it. What? We're giving more, huh? We're giving more attention to we must give more attention to this matter, because that little swing wong wong thing that went on there, where he decided that he was going to threaten homeboy because he did not pass the Pfizer vaccine or whatever, is not a good onlook or good sight between the two. And we need to pay more attention, because this is where the deep state have corrupted. And we need to do something about that. Point facts and point blank. Now, Dr. Anthony, I guess Ferr, or Ferr, F-E-H-R, Dr. Anthony F-E-H-R, because I don't like pronouncing certain words, I get caught up. You know what I mean? A so-called professor of what got up to a certain point, where he got up to explain about the vaccine and said nothing but some bull. Because he was supposed to get up there and explain stuff about the vaccines, and what he said was the same old thing that they all saying. So I don't understand what he was doing. Now we see Slick Fauci is saying that the vaccines even stop the spread. You know what I mean? How many stories is he gonna tell? That's the case right there. You know what I mean? Because he's jumping around a little bit too much. So the vaccines stop the spread, but how many stories is he's going to spread? Is the question. Now and again. Now I see the throwing of the I forgot what you call that. Or throwing the now I see the throwing of the icing on the cake coming up. You know what I'm saying? Now I see that Ted Cruz, and I knew they were going to do that to him one day. You know what I mean? And I don't know why they did that, but that's on them. But whether Ted Cruz goes on vacation or not, what Ted Cruz supposed to take it a whole of Texas by himself? I thought he was the governor. Where's the high